What's up, people? In this video, I'm going to go over the meta for this 2v2 game mode Wingman. Now, I know this game mode is going away after the weekend, but Hi-Rez is going to bring this game mode back eventually, and it's going to be a permanent game mode in Rogue Company. Now, I want to go over some individual rogues and why they are just top picks, period. And then I want to go over some combination of rogues that just do very well together. Now, after that, I want to talk about their weapons, their gadgets, their actual abilities, and why that does so well in this particular game mode. If you want to make sure to catch all my videos, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. We post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So before we get into the pairings, let's go ahead and talk about the top 3 rogues that are just always going to clean up regardless of who you're paired up with for the most part. And that's going to be Ronin, Lancer, and Dahlia. Now, obviously, Dahlia is gonna depend a little bit on whoever she's paired with, right? If you're paired with Vi, obviously you're not really gonna get benefit from that, but any other rogue in the game, she'll get some benefit of being paired with. And then more importantly, she gets to res those people in 2.5 seconds, assuming that you take a lifeline, which you probably will. That makes Dahlia one of the worst people to play up against, right? Especially if you don't have a Dahlia on your team. Now, Lancer and Ronin, I think these are self-explanatory, but I'm gonna talk about them anyway. Lancer has the best flanking potential in the game. Once she gets that momentum going, she can rep through a team, especially considering that, you know, the spawns are so wonky and sometimes it's hard to coordinate with your team in this 2v2 mode, especially if you have one person that's playing very aggressively. So if Lancer can get that 1v1 consistently, she's probably going to win, especially if she has life drain online. It's a wrap. And then Ronin has that potential to be aggressive. She has the potential to be defensive. Her ballistic knife makes her great for defending spots, for just tagging people, getting that 125 down. And then looking at the weapons of Lancer and Ronin, they both have weapons that are great for that short range. Obviously, Lancer more so than Ronin. Ronin has the KA-30, which also performs fairly well at mid-range, but they have the weapons that they need to be very effective on these smaller maps. Along with Dahlia, the MXR is also pretty good on smaller maps, you know, because it has that mid-range, but short range it falls off obviously, but she has the objection as well. So pound for pound, these are the 3 rogues that you can never go wrong with. But now I want to show you some combinations that actually do very well in this game mode, and I like that because it kind of shakes up the typical meta of the 4v4 game modes. Now, the first duo that I want to talk about here that does really well is going to be the Scorch Anvil combination. Now, these two are very good if you want to play like more campy and if you also just want to dominate the point. And there's a couple of reasons why I say this. Now, Anvil obviously has his shield, which will completely block off an area, right? In these smaller zones where, you know, like all you have is this 2 interest points, like right here, as you can see, it's very easy for Anvil to just completely cut off one of the entrances and then have it to where they have to push one door or they just have to get bled out. And then if you're both running the Arbitrator, or even really if Anvil is running the Maw, he can still put in some big damage. And we all know that the Arbitrator is a one-shot. So all in all, just for those reasons, these two make a very good combination. But then if you add the C4 on top of that, Anvil is very good at flushing people out. And then Scorch, of course, has the Molotov, which is very good for getting people from behind the boxes that are on this map. So these two right here are very good if you are trying to completely dominate the point. Now, if you get caught out in the open, they struggle a little bit more though. So keep that in mind if you're going to try to run this combo. The second combination on this list is going to be Dallas and Dahlia. These two are like the complete opposite of Anvil and Scorch. While they were more campy, this one is going to be a much more aggressive type team. Now, first of all, Dallas is going to allow you to get your recharge ability, right? Meaning that Dahlia will basically have unlimited revives as long as she is getting knocks, which makes her able to play very aggressively, and in turns allows Dallas to play very aggressively, really getting there with the harem, I would assume, because the devotion doesn't really lend to a more aggressive gameplay like that, but the harem does very well on this map. Now, another thing that's very good with these two is that along with that aggression, you also have the ability to pinpoint where the enemies are, which is going to allow you to make those coordinated pushes and flanks. So very good combination, these two. Now, a couple of things to add too is that Dahlia has the frag grenade while Dallas has the Molotov, which makes very good combination there for fleshing people out and getting those downs. So all in all, these two work very well together and they do pretty good against just about any combination. Now, this next combo some people may sleep on, and that's the double healer combo, Dahlia plus Sane. Now, this combo is so deadly for a couple of reasons, but let's start off with their time to kill. If Dahlia is using the MXR and Saint is using his Mamba, depending on the range that the enemies are, in one bullet from both of these people, you can down somebody, because the Mamba is a 2-shot burst, depending on how the range, and it has a pretty good range, mind you. And then the MXR is what, 32 to the body, 48 to the head. So even if you are not team shotting, your time to kill with these rogues can be very high if you're hitting headshots. So when they're together, they can do some big damage. Now, on top of that, these two can play very aggressively because their potential to heal without stopping the fight, right? Saint can send his drone anywhere on the map, whereas Dahlia can res you within 30 meters, right? And they can both still be fighting while this is happening. So it makes it very hard for people to finish kills on you, especially if you two are relatively together. Now, I don't mean stacked on top of each other, but I mean in a position where you can actually cover each other. So these two put a lot of pressure on the enemy team. Now, I feel like I also need to mention their gadgets real quick and why they really help these two really do well in these type of game modes. And Saint has the actual trip mines, and he also has the smoke. Now, trip mines don't do as well as you would expect on these smaller maps because people are just so aware of them by now. But the smoke actually does work as a pretty good deterrent because people just aren't willing to run through smoke. So it does buy you time, and it has bought me a couple of lives. Basically, I've been able to bleed the team out because they just weren't brave enough to run into that smoke and contest. Now, Dahlia, on the other hand, has a much better gadget with the frag grenade, which is much more versatile and is great for fleshing people out. So I really like this combination. I feel like it's deceptively good. So give it a shot. Just make sure that you are playing with somebody who you can calm with and that is willing to actually work together as a team, not trying to showboat and just get a bunch of kills. Now, the next combination actually works very well together, especially if you're trying to play aggressive and get on the point every time. This is going to be the double breacher combination. That's Glitch and Segret. Now, the reason this goes so well is because of their abilities, right? Segret has the shield. She's able to get in there, especially if she's crouching, and basically suck up all those bullets without taking any damage. And then Glitch is going to support her by using his hack ability, which is going to stop the enemy's rogues from actually being able to use their abilities and being able to counter Segret in any way. And once Segret gets up close, she can either shield bash or pull out the warrant, and she's going to win that 1v1 usually. And then if your Glitch is any good, he's going to be right there helping you out, of course, with the Skull 6 or with the LMP. Both weapons do really good on this map. Same thing with Segret. She has Chalk's SMG and she has Vi's shotgun. The shotgun doesn't do great, but on this map it's small enough to where it can be effective if you and your teammate are moving together pretty well. Now, another thing to compliment about this team is that they both have Simtex grenades. So the double Simtex can really catch people off guard and deal a lot of damage very quickly. And another thing to note too, as far as rushing goes, Segret is deceptively fast, especially when she pops the stim pack, and it allows her to really get in there and push people before they're able to set up or understand that she's coming for them. If you throw that on top of the fact that Glitch has the flashbangs, it makes for some very quick, decisive takeovers of the enemy point. So these two right here, I don't think they'll be super slept on, but I don't know if people are respecting Glitch the way they should be right now, even at this point in the game. So this is a combo that I definitely would say to look out for. Now, the last combination, and one that I think is probably one of the strongest right now, if not the strongest, is the Lancer Dahlia combination. Now, the reason I say that this one is so strong is because Lancer has the best passive in the game. I don't think anybody will argue that. Being able to reload and get your full clip back is devastating, right? And now you have two rogues that can do that together. You can put down just so much more suppressing fire on the team, and it's just overwhelming, really. Now, another thing that makes these two very powerful is that they both have the ability to nade. The Simtex plus the frag grenade can cause some very good havoc, make it to where people cannot hide behind these boxes, flesh people out in essence. Now, also looking at weapons, we all know that Lancer's SMG is very good, especially at close range, and Dahlia has the ability to either go, you know, balls to the walls with her with the objection, or cover Lancer from a little bit of a range with the MXR. So very good versatility there, able to cover each other's flanks. And the last thing that I feel like I have to mention is that Lancer is really able to get the jump on a lot of people, and if the enemy team isn't playing very well together, meaning if they aren't in lockstep kind of, it's very easy for Lancer to catch people in a 1v1, get the down or the trade, and then get rezzed by Dahlia because Dahlia has such suppressing weapons, right? Like the MXR is 3 headshots, you're down. So it's hard for people to finish kills off, you know? So altogether, this right here is probably one of the more powerful teams in the game right now. And I think this is going to be like a very meta team when it comes to hopefully this this mode being in ranked. So we'll see. If you feel like there's a rogue that should be on here, let me know. Personally, I didn't put Ronin with any groups because I felt like it was kind of cheap. I feel like Ronin goes with everybody. I kind of felt the same about Dahlia, but Dahlia has her little link ability, so I felt like it was more, it was more reasonable to put Dahlia on a couple of these than to have Ronin on everyone, because realistically, Ronin slaps with whoever she's with. So I just wanted to make that caveat there. But let me know if there's anybody who you feel should be on this list, anybody who you think is just a very top tier rogue in this 2v2 game mode. I want to hear what you guys think. As always, if you made it to the end, make sure to give me a peace down in the comments. Thank you for watching. This is Ors, of course. We'll see you in the next video or live stream. Peace.